Being male, okay, so number 7 is...
We just started.
Okay. Number 7, being a male is having a male organ. So here this is referring to being a man. Having strength is by the power of previous karma, naturally experiencing little injury, no illness, and great enthusiasm arising from the life's circumstances. So here being free of illness, being healthy, and so forth, means having a strong body, being strong. So that's number 8. Dikso. NGK Junior, NGK the Junior, NGK the Dunba, the Buyinba. Hey, the Yunten Tamche. The Drupa. Ni de Drapo. Dunba, the Yunten Tamche. So here in the English it says being a male. In the Tibetan it says possessing all excellent qualities. So, Dunba, Yunten Tamche, New Dong. The Bui Yomare.
Dunba Yunten Taji, Buddha Yunten Taji, Nurdes, Buddha Yunten Taji, Nurdes, Buddha Abores, Yunten Taji, Nurdes, Deshiji.
Then Boo, the Kabiare, the Puke.
Bus at what the
Puik, the Boo, Kabiare.
Pay over the Never Tamal. Pay over the Japanese, Japanese, pay over the Dembos, Japanese, pay over the Dembo Dumbarota. They then touch in Hulko.
So Rinpoche is saying it's with this male part is within this. I don't want to waste any more time. I'm trying to figure out what word exactly in the Tibetan it is, because it doesn't seem to be there. But it obviously is. Rinpoche is saying that it's there. So I don't want to waste any more time. I want to move on.
What that Japan Shawatanju Tutan Deba said to Marba, Tutan Deba Shawatanji. Okay.
Logian. Moreover, the first consummate lifespan is living in a happy realm. The second consummate color is the body. The third consummate lineage is the birth. The fourth consummate power is resources and helpers. The fifth, trustworthy words, is being an authority in the world. The sixth, renown as a great power, is fame about such power. The seventh, being a male, is having the capacity for all good qualities. The eighth, strength, is having power in your activities. So this makes for the 8. These are the 8 excellent qualities. Now we will find the 8 effects.
통화자지 두자 간에 누워스 디치냐바다 안에 샤와생 보고스 어디 니바드레면도 니바로와 니바든 통화자지 두자 간에 두자 통화자지 두자서 가부용네 통화장제 두자 간에 두라서 가부 콜두용으레스 두라서 디치냐바다 샤와 셈바고 시냐바 너 그 라바나지 레 제약은 더벌레 그래서 네바체 인실루즈 고소 고르다 인실루즈 인제
Kanga. Okay. J.
라제지 남에게 잡으지 나 다음부터 말해 라다 젠지 된레 참베 연보 거와 마부 수보 담으로다 어디 인실루 인제
Okay. So the effects of the fruition. So I found the other translation, the function of the fruitions. So it says there are 8 effects of the fruitions. The effect of consummate lifespan is that you are accumulating much virtuous karma for a long time in terms of working for the welfare of both yourself and others. Second, the effect of consummate color is that merely through seeing you, disciples are pleased and gather around you. They then listen to your words and want to carry out your instructions. 3, the effect of consummate lineage is that people carry out your instructions without disregard. Number 4, the effect of consummate power is that through giving you gather living beings and then mature them. 5th, the effect of trustworthy words is that through kind speech, purposeful behavior, and being one whose aims are the same as the disciples, you gather living beings and mature them. The effect of renown as a great power is that because you have helped and assisted others in all activities, they repay your kindness and listen immediately to your instructions. Number 7, the effect of being a male is that you will have the capacity for all good qualities, a capacity for all skilled actions by way of aspiration and endeavor, and a capacity for broad wisdom, the discrimination of objects of knowledge. Moreover, you will be unafraid in assemblies and will have no reversals or obstacles, whether accompanying all living beings, speaking to them, enjoying resources with them, or dwelling in isolation. Number 8, the effect of strength is that because you are not disillusioned about either your own or others' welfare and are steady in your great enthusiasm for them, you will obtain the power of discernment and then quickly have the super knowledges. 8. Rinpoche said, I think that you can understand what this is. You know what this means. So this is the effects of the fruitions.
단드는 남의 주제용도 남의 주제대 여기 남의 유대 제도 제부제대 그 제가를 비치자면로 남의 주제대 남의 제부제가 주로다 남의 주제대 남의 제부제가 주로와 남의 유대 제게 주인선의 배신지서 말배 담아다 다 남의 주제래 안에 와대 남의 주제는 담아대 신제는 맞춰와도 맞지 상바 템바 예야 소소 주발레 단단 대진수기 팬다시 소자 처발레도비 천리와레 토반주로 천리완 토반주로 내비녀고심 해봐 팬으로도 제바다 소자 봉와 이수제 처음에 내매이 she's no so what about the name juji non tambo the hego tambo Tserim Heda, Tseri Judan, Name Juni Shedamadu, and then Sucha Tsawa Leduba, Sejela Matsawa Matsi, Samba Temba de Kasura Tseri, Juji Teres, Sosa Chuba Ledan, Taduma, Geshe on the Remedy. Sosa Chuba Ledan, the Moshi in Barada, Sentient Soya Nyatan, and then Pajuta Soya to Loma Soba Soya, Chuba Ledan, or the Chibaina, Seremu Yungre, the Jinsuki Pentashin, Sejin Sul Yakayoba, the Solasuki Pentashin, Sucha Tsawa Ledobe, Serewan Tubaju, Sucha could Suki Tsawa Ledubaina, Tsawa the Pombe, Gile Drubaina, and Seremu Yungres, Serewan Tubanjuros. What about the Seri Judim Bare? Dudi Jison, the Jewish ones. Tadan name may be Judith or Nabi Negushi, member, Pen Rod Jimbadan, Sucha Pon, Isuji, Tawamil Nemeis, that never Uju, never Metea. Then Sucha Pon, what the Sul never Majibaji, nobody Pomp Sitting Zone, and the God Drubaina, and the name about the Jungeres. Yeah.
So now we move on after we complete. So we've gone through these two categories: the attributes of the fruitions, and then the effects of the fruitions. And now we're going to get to the causes of the fruitions. So the effects have a cause. So these will be the causes of the fruitions themselves. So the first is the cause of consummate lifespan is not harming living beings, and the application of a non-violent attitude. Further, it is said that. So here, by the long garne, the long yimba, the Larin Chenmo, the Nangin, the Jew, the Tambo, the long yen.
Name Jujero, Name Jujele, Name Jujero, Jujinan Tambo, Sejela Masawatan, Masi Samba Tembas, Tapacha, Sayunga Mutabachin, Tabachin Duduci, Tishe, Tenema Jebashine, Niumde. Sejela Masawatan, Masi Samba Tembate, Name Jutambutres, Tiri Jures.
Okay.
The Momusheva Ina and then Sosa Chuba Ledan dance, Nyatan, and then the Suka Soya to Masova Zubaina, Sulu Tambasarota.
Okay.
The Jinsuki Pentashin, Sosa Tawale Dobe, Social Tawabon with Sutin Sombaina, Gawat Rubaina, Serimu Togas, Seriwan Tobanjuro.
So
that name may be good, the Nebi Negushi member. Pen Rod Jimbadan, Sucha Pon, Isuji, Tawamil Nemeis, what the name may be good in, but what the yeah.
So number one, the cause of consummate lifespan is not harming living beings, and the application of a non-violent attitude. Further, it is said. So here we have a quote from the Asanga's levels of the Bodhisattva levels, Shansa, the Bodhisattva levels. So it states, by rescuing those approaching a place where they will be killed, and likewise giving life to others and turning harm away from living beings, you will acquire a long lifespan. Through caring for the sick, through a doctor's giving medicine to the sick, and through not harming living beings with sticks, clumps of earth, and the like, you will be without illness. So here, it's speaking of turning away from harming other beings. And not only turning away from harming, it's speaking of actually actively engaging in saving their lives. So for instance, we could free a fish, or free a cow that was going to be eaten or slaughtered. We could buy them or somehow keep them from being killed. So these would be examples of how we would go about giving life to others in an actual active sense, as opposed to just refraining from harm. So that's the first point that's made. And here this is the cause of a long lifespan. And then it gets into the cause of being healthy, the cause of being free of illness. So it's saying taking care for through caring for the sick, through a doctor's giving medicine to the sick, through not harming living beings with sticks, clumps of earth, and the like. So here it is stating what to turn away from in order to be well, in order to be healthy. So here, once again, it's not harming other living beings, and then actively taking care of them if they are not well. So the once again here we have an act, not harming and inactive, and then actively caring for. So this is how we become healthy and free of illness.
That nami juji na wodul nami juji berete jusun sun susuna jebe person suba yole jusun sheza jidwa wode ije kusul den wodwa gochu kuji ge tin wole sun chu duje ujuba lo chuba on jusun ba sejen Senabata Rala Tuba Nita, Jen la Tuba Nita, Joanabata Rala Tuba Nita, Jen la Tuba Nita Sansona, and Siri Jupenson Suba Yungres, Repenson Suba Yungres, or Dukusul Wood.
So if these 8 causes are endowed with, so further on it gets into, if these 8 causes are endowed with 3 causes, pure attitude, pure application, and pure recipient, their fruitions will be outstanding. So here, this is how we make the actual fruitions outstanding or exceptional. Among the 3 causes, there are 2 types of pure attitude, self-directed and other-directed. The 2 self-directed pure attitudes are, and then it goes on to the Kanga, Logua, NGK.
Jusun la Senabatava, Ran la Tubani, Joa Nabatava, Jean la Tubani, Jean la Tubani, Joa Nabatava, Ran la Tubani, Jean la Tubani, what the sounds on the person to.
So if you have the 2 types of pure attitude, those self-directed and those other-directed, and you also have the 2 types of pure application, self-directed and other-directed, and then you have, so that's it, the pure application is self-directed and other-directed, and then let's see, pure recipient, attitude, then Sumba ni yerbe.
Sumbal Dani Yamaro Hodel da Shin Tabala do Shin Tabala.
So just the first 2.
Tag Madan de Sejen la Masawa da Masi Samba Temba Nami Jig na Tamarabe. Sejen la Masawa da Masi Samba Temba Nami Juji na Tamoroa. Masi Samba Temba de Masawa Masi Samba Temba de and 세계 단지가 사주고 또 중화이나 중화이나 안에 중화다 네 sensu 잡이 셰바이나 어때 저부 평소 소바 용거레스 수잡아니도 말ပဲ세계를 소화봉비 거와데 거와로가 거와데 세계 단지가 또 사주고 또 주지 중화 네 sensu 잡이 주와이나 어때 라라 tuba니 드레스 Debe yabu yungures. Je la tubani de marbe. Je rarita son la Jesu Iranche Matunaya, Jesu Iranche Yungayagi, Tashi Jibayina, Je la tubani de marbe. And the Joa Nabatabate, and the Tetabi Gawat Pama Shibatan, and the Shutaba Jibayina, and the Rana Tuba de marbe. Rana Tuba. Gawa. Sentient Masawa de every Sentient Masawa, Pamachebata, Junzion, Marbe, and the Shutaba. Then Then Doma Malabala, Doma Land to Jubal, Doma Land Sakin Sole, Chunu Doma Land Yabashare, Dendu Yungare, Taba Yungare, Sanji Huyung, Habaju Adamar, what they need to do. That's Sijela Matis, Tawapumbi, Goate, and Senabata Rana to Gobani, Jela to Gobani, Joa Nabataba, Rana to Gobata, Jela to Gobat Samayina.
Less so. So if we engage in virtuous activities and they have all of these components, if they are endowed with, as it says, the three causes, and then within those three causes there are the two types of pure attitude and then the two types of pure recipient. First type of pure attitude being self-directed, and the second type is other-directed. And then when we look at that second category of pure application, we find those self-directed and other-directed. So when we look at self-directed, we're looking at having this dedication, dedicating it for the becoming a complete Buddhahood. For the sake of all sentient beings, and we're doing so with an intense, here it says intense power, so it means that we have a very strong desire to become a Buddha for the sake of all sentient beings. So this is how that first the attitude comes into play, which will make for a very strong cause, which then makes for a very, very strong strong result. So this first is that category of attitude, and directly and specifically the self-directed attitude. And then the second category of other-directed pure attitude is admiring others, rejoicing in what others have done, rejoicing in rejoicing in what others have done, and abandoning this idea of competing with them, abandoning the idea that we have to be mad at them or be jealous of them. We actually, even if they are, lower than us or at the same level of us, or higher than us, we rejoice in the good that they've done. And then it says that if we can't do that, then we every day say to ourselves that we must later do these things, where we abandon this jealousy and competitiveness and contempt, and then and actually rejoice in what they've done. So we say to ourselves we'll in the future be able to do this. And then in terms of the attitude, in terms of application, there's a length of time. And not only doing it for a very long period of time, but doing it continuously without stopping it for a long period of time. So that would be the self-directed, and then the other-directed referring to vows. If there are specific vows and so forth that make vows and commitments which make it stronger. So I'm just going to read this part. Causing those who have not adopted vows and other commitments to do so, praising those who have made such commitments so that they may delight in them, making them continue, and making them not abandon. Okay, so I apologize. So this is other-directed because it's referring to others adopting these vows and us encouraging them to do so. So that's why I read it, because I was having trouble remembering. So that's why it's other. We're encouraging others to have the vows. Then Rinpoche, the Domba land.
Then I saw Matu Pugre, Chimo Pugre, and then what the Matu, Nala Matu, Chupurucho, Halamatu Pibaina, Matu Pigarota. Gawat is in Tantric, Zuru Sanju Komotoba, Jumhovaina, Shoot Abiduba, Senabata Rana Tibani, Matu Piba Ina, Matu Pibu Gawate, Tauchu Zuando, what is a Kenyan Jabu,
Lesser,
Halamatu Piba Ina Gawarwata,
lesser,
Tetabi Gawate, Sajan Tanji, Sanjigo, Tuba Juji, Sanjungo,
tumble,
and the shoot Tabi Drubaina, Rana Tibani San.
lesser,
Then Jendale and the Chushing Jendal, Jesu Rajena,
lesser,
Kopi,
lesser,
Jesu Raje Matunaya, Jesu Tashi,
lesser,
in Sansona God Pimures,
lesser.
and the Joanaba Taba every day
They're wrong.
to Pamachibata, Junior,
Lesser,
Ruaina, what the Marbe, Pamachibata, to the Rala to Vanidro,
lesser,
Pamachiba. Pamachiba to 2 June, Kanuja to the Abram. Season Gorilla, Yamataba Negro, Yamataba Noa to go every day, Negro, every day. Takante Goa Karina, every day, what they drew there at the Yabi in summer.
lesser,
Shoot up at the every day, Ruaina,
lesser,
Junior one,
lesser,
Pamachivas, what in summer.
lesser,
Junior one, and the Junior Lotan Dawadine.
lesser,
Chebahina Gawata Chebizarwa,
lesser.
Pamachiba dance. Tajela Tubani to Tamara.
Yeah, there, Jan.
Jela Tubani to what the Marva. And then Duma Malanka to Duma Langwaters.
Lesser,
Land Juba. TJ.
lesser,
Duma Land Sakin Zola, through Duma Lamba de Abashadare, Penchores, Dundu Yungore, Taba Yungore, Sanji Yungores, Habajiba, what the Tansona. And then Gawadigan David Ponso Yungores.
lesser,
Tamutu Gawadal Jan, Shedan, Jenda Kunda.
lesser. So then this last one is specifically encouraging others to take vows, encouraging others to keep the vows that they have, and then explaining to them that by doing this you'll be able to achieve the higher realm rebirth, you'll be able to achieve liberation, you'll be able to achieve complete Buddhahood. So we can look at all kinds of ethical behavior, and if we have these components, then that specific type of ethical behavior will have a very large result, will have an excellent result because it is an excellent behavior, or outstanding, I think is the word that's used in the text. So it's an outstanding cause, so there will be an outstanding result. So if we look at the act of, for instance, offering a flower, making the offering of a flower to a deity, if we do so with the desire to become a Buddha for the sake of all sentient beings, and that desire that we have is very, very strong, then we have this first two components that make for an outstanding virtue. You have this dedication that's dedicating for the point of becoming a Buddha for the sake of all sentient beings, and we have a very heartfelt, a very strong determination to do so. It's called intense power in the text, but we have this intensity. So these are the first two components, which are self-directed. And then the other directed, in this case, related to attitude, is if we are offering this flower and we've abandoned jealousy and abandoned competitiveness and abandoned contempt and are rejoicing in what others have done. And if we can't do that, we're making it a point to tell ourselves that we will be able to in the future do that. Then we have four of the components that make for an outstanding virtue. And then the lasts are we're making an offering of this flower, and then we have as we're making the offering of this flower, it's something that we do all the time. So if we offer this flower all the time, for consecutively over a long period of time, and this is the application related to ourselves, and then application related to others is if we're making this offering while encouraging others to take vows, encouraging others to lead a disciplined way of life, then we have all of these components. So a good example of this self-directed pure application is 6-session Guru Yoga. This is something that you do for your whole life, and it's something that you do over and over throughout the course of the day. So this would be categorically something that you do for a long period of time, and you're doing over and over again. Then Rinpoche, okay, so it looks like I can actually ask this question at break. It looks like there's time for break and to give out some treats. So
and the sentient tantric the sanju to ba juji juho ba ina and what the god touch over is and the sanji the so ma ba jata jasu chana chuti tar jasu ma ga ba temeze the jin sha chu yang go wa ya sha chu ma tu ba temeze jasu no chuti ba ji sa so na jasu to ma ga ba chuti ba ji zo ma res but then I go chi jun ji le me ba ina ya and sentient tantric the sanju go to shanchu to be juho ba ina sanju go ma do ju ba the god se ga ma res jata jasu chana chuti tar jasu ma ga ba temeze jin shanchu yang go wa ya shanchu ma tu ba temeze ta mo du bi go chi ba ma le ta mo du bi go de shanchu to be juho wa ina what the ko shanchu ma tu ju ma le ta what the re mo de shanchu ma tu ba temeze what the mo de ta che bi ta do de re mo de ta sen na ba ta ba rala te bi go ba shanchu ju mo de re mo de de jata jasu chana chuti de jasu ma ga ba temeze de shanchu yang go wa ya shanchu ma tu ba temeze so de re do de de ge wo da ne ga chi de do wa de ne je je so ran je ge na go wa phe wo res and German beba chung la che tu du ba gla je so na chu du gas kale chu chu je ne gwa che bo ro go na nya le kar je go na je so ya nya le ab je go res je so ya nya le je ba ina kale ga yo ma res ne gwa lo che bo to yo res beba chung la che tu du ba gla je so ya na chu du gas wo to se je me de de ga to de le Jane Gawala Jesu Iran Randi Tasu Sade. What does it ever do? What does Lawu do?
The Metu Pute. Okay. So if we are looking at all these virtuous activities that we can engage in, we can look at them and see if they have these three causes with the two types or not, to figure out whether they've become an excellent, most excellent or outstanding type of virtue. So if, for instance, we're making an offering of a flower, and we're making that offering for the sake of becoming a Buddha for all sentient beings, then this becomes an outstanding way to make this offering of this flower. Because we find that stated by Buddha that just like a drop of water in the ocean is not extinguished until the entire ocean is extinguished, virtue that has been dedicated to complete Buddhahood will not be removed until it comes to fruition, or what it causes comes to fruition, and that is Buddhahood. So the virtue that we dedicate for the sake of Buddhahood stays with us until Buddhahood. That we can see how strong dedication is and how important dedication is, and just that one example about it not leaving until it produces what it does, and that is Buddhahood in this case. So if we do so with that kind of mindset, dedicating it to becoming a Buddha, dedicating it to the highest aim possible, and then we also rejoice in others' good, the virtue that others have done, then we're making this a very, very strong virtue. So if we look, Lama Tsongkhapa has stated, if asked what is the easiest way to accumulate virtue, the answer is by rejoicing in the good that others do. Rejoicing in others' good is the easiest way to achieve merit or accumulate merit. So that's why these first two components are so important, because we can easily achieve merit by rejoicing in others, and then our dedication comes to fruition in the form of Buddhahood. Sapi yen la, bu yen la, dapi yen la, and jipagare. Jambis? Oh, confession. So we look at the seven-limb prayer. The seven-limb prayer has different components. There are the limbs of accumulation, the limbs of increase, the limbs of purification, and then the confession limbs. So when we look at the limb of increase, we find that the two, dedication and rejoicing, fall categorically under the limb of increase.
ne chushingen rani tasmul jiswe na che de marbe beba chung la chen su de ba gila jiswe na chu de nga se do de ne o de do wa de jela de jiswe na ma yu na ya jiswe na yu na ge ta je je na jela de ba ne jela de ba ni chang marbe ne joa na ba ta ba ra de be Joana Batava Rala Tuba Nite, Juiziwa to Pama Shibanite Marbe, Rala Tubanite, Jena Juiziwa, Junim Gawaina, Matu Junim Pibaina, Kukawachi Chiba Yungurvata, Makijum Tuti Junimusuna, Nagawachiba Yunguzero, Juiziwata, Pama Chiba, every day. What is Gawata Chiba in Samara, Juiziwa to Pama Chibas, Shutaba. What is the matter with the what is
the agenda, the Dombalan Yap?
Tuesday, one time, Pamachibadan, Shujaba, Nigella Dubane, Jena Dubalan, Dubalan Yaburis, Lao, Jen Dubalan Sagan, Chu Dubalan by Abshire, Dendru Yungure, Taba Yungsu, Haba Juad. What is Joanna Bataba, Duba, Jena Dubaji, Sena Bataba, Duba, what sounds Gwa kari ina ten tau chebu yungu nami ju je te song de chang song na jebu phu de shwa ya bu yungu des modu phi gwa ina ju song chang song na an jebu phu song su bu yungu des what is ta ko ji xin ga cha song na wo lu je ba ka da ba ma ba
the sentient matsewa. Okay, so when we look at the act of not harming a sentient being, not hurting a sentient being, then it would follow in the same way. So any virtue that we engage in, if it has these three components, then it becomes an outstanding type of virtue. So if we look at not harming a sentient being, so those three qualities of pure attitude, pure application, and pure recipient are what make it into this very outstanding type of virtue. So if we don't harm a sentient being with this attitude that's very strong from the depths of our heart, with intense power, of wanting to become a Buddha for the sake of all sentient being. So, and we're not harming in order to become a Buddha for the sake of all sentient beings. And we have, again, this second quality, which I said first, but of intense power behind it. And then we are also abandoning negativity related to others and competitiveness and power and so forth, and we're actually rejoicing in the levels that they have achieved. And then we are if we're not able to, then we're at least wishing we could do that. And then we are, so this is, then Rinpoche mentioned some other types of activities. He said then we could be engaging in the ethics, which abandons the 10 non-virtuous activities, or engaging in other practices as well. And if it fits and has these components, fits into these categories, then it is also an outstanding virtue. So the next two types fall into this application. So if we're not harming others, and we're doing it for a very long period of time, over and over and over again, then, and we're encouraging others to engage in ethical behavior and take vows and so forth, then we've fulfilled all of the components that are necessary to make that act of not harm an outstanding virtue. So, and then we can apply this formula to all of the other types of virtuous activities we can engage in.
And Rada Genji, Rada Genji, Zan, Yedemo, Goma Subas, and David Tazaman and Debo. Yedemo Goa Subas, what the Matsata Masi Zambatembi, Geshe Lharampa, Rada Genji, Zan, Yedemo, Goma Subat, and David Tayamures in Zamarbe. Namen David Tomadro.
So the result of having this consummate lifespan, the tambo, the naming, depo.
Naming the jig non tomatero, and Genji, Turns on the Edinburgh, go Mabusuba Usa. Sijin Masawata Masi, somebody but from in a tea, Geshe Lharampa, and rather Genji turns of a go Mabusu.
Less so.
Go Mamu, Debo.
So by engaging in not harming others over and over again, then the result is a virtue, and the result is that we ourselves will have a long lifespan. So if we don't harm others, then the result is that we ourselves will have a long lifespan.
Tanibat Name Junibat Temarva, Mamula Subin, Hawata, Kusaba Jimba, Wosa. Jen Troa Meba, Troa Mela Tempatan, Jejin by Zuzoni, Kadu Mabin Jebune, Kevazon Brotchi, what the Junibat Name Junibat Sundua. And the Mamula Subin Hawata, Kusaba Jimba, Chubupia to the Marvete, the Chubupia down, and the Chupia down, Carpia Yun Tagarota. Mamula Subin Hawata, Kusaba Jimba, Tulu Sabajimba Taya. Jen Troa Mela Tempatan, Contribaba, Jejin by Zuzoni, Jejin Batambaina, and the Zuzombi Ungres. Tasha Namal, the Sanjilo, the Gent Puzon. What is Joshama Zuzomi?
Joshama Gare.
Joshama Zuzombi Zuzom. Jejin by Zuzon is dead water.
Okay.
Sanjil the Pashis Marabe.
Less so.
What in the Yabu do it, just we are not Jena. What the ancient
Listen. Okay. So the effect of consummate lifespan is that you accumulate much virtuous karma for a long time in terms of working for the welfare of both yourself and others. So you have a long time to work with, so you then can accumulate a large amount of virtue. The effect of consummate color is that merely through seeing you, disciples are pleased and gather around you. They then listen to your words and want to carry out instructions. So here, then the nipa. That's good.
Nipa Mamula Subin, Hawata.
I don't know why they do
Good
this.
Sabajin Babos, Jen Troa Mela Tempata, Jejin by Zuzoni, Kadu Mabin Jebon, and Kebazon Rochi, or the Nipa Marba. 인치로 인치 고소 고도요
Yene the Chikshena the junior Tangisena Lama la sopa
고소 하고 그랬더니
Shala sopa dangshen legendar Gupa J Bao
신지만 찾지만 로수 때마다 모두 마음을 소비 당화다 괴사바 신바고 제야 좋아만나 때마다 제지바 이소장이 카도매빈 저번에 개발상 버릇이 왔다 받들은도 제소스
Then the Getru this the Anja Gogudu then Charan Lama then Khensur the Nyalan Shegadu
그저 지금 인체들로 인체 남의 준이 받 마음을 소비 당화다
So I'm just trying to get clarity because it seems a little different, but Rinpoche just says to read the English. The effect of consummate color is that merely through seeing you, disciples are pleased and gather around you. They then listen to your words and want to carry out your instructions. So by having this beautiful color, by having a beautiful form, then others will want to be near you. So previously, Stasha offered a diamond to this Buddha here in between the eyes for the third eye. And as a result of offering that diamond to the Buddha, she will in future lives have this beautiful form.
왔더니 주문 비야도 태저그때 주문도 마모스로 야부도서
So offerings are so important. You can see all of the offerings that Ted has made all over the center, and you see how important it is because of the fruit, the result, because of the result that comes, and then what that result allows you to do. So it's that's what I was missing. That connection. Yeah, just so not. So then others make an offering of their house and so forth. So we have everyone has this something to offer. Made sama you. Everyone has this.
그냥 좋아만 때마다 제진바이 소선이 카도 매번 저번 개발상 버릇 남의 그 주대 남의 저번디 디 주인지로다 되게 주제발라 때네 안에 디 저번들 통화장지 뒤자 가네스 저와 샤말을 때네 통화장지 안에 뒤 거사견들 뒤자 가부 용으로스 뒤자 가네 뒤라서 그들 그바 제용으로스 나면 대비니 받으래도와 통화장지 뒤자 가는 뒤라서 티 치년 받아 샤워선 보건 저부터레스 마물라 소비 좀 비바이나 안에 뭐데 되는 뒤자 그 통화장지 뒤자 가네 안에 그 칼니에 그래서 뒤라스 안에 티 치년 받아 그시 안줄니에 그래서 샤워선 봐 그라야 될 조야게 So when
you have this good color, this good look, then others will want to come around you and they'll listen to the words that you say. They'll engage in the practices that you tell them to engage in because they'll be attracted to you because you have this good color, because you have this good look about you. Nipatsa.
Nipatsa. What Nipatsa
Sumba.
Dulata, Somba Rota, Sumba.
Rik Punsus.
Somba Naje June, Lama Subala, Lama Subala, Shala Subadan, Jela Tender Cuba, Sheba Osa, Tender Cuba Sheba de Name Jusumba Dres, Teen Jebet Karasana, Goale Mandawa, Druba was, Goale Mandawa. was debuting Yungres. That's also Naje Mabaje, Najel Mabaje, Lama Sanji Shansabo Kando, Chujun Soma, Lama San, Badama Sanga, the Sula Kubayabaje, Shala Shate, Yala Duma to Injere, Jela Tender Kubasheba, Joe Jenda Kubasheba Ina, or Teen Debutele, and then debuting was. Goale Mandawa Druba was, Kulabate, the Tagaran Kurtune, Killing, goal without rules, somebody do that. What the job would do that.
Okay, so number 3 is consummate lineage. So Rinpoche has been explaining the effects alongside the causes simultaneously. So consummate lineage. So then we go to page 245 and 244 because we have both sides. So I have to read number 2 on 244 because I read the 2 at the top of 244, which I still needed to do, but I forgot to read the bottom, the cause part. So I just want to read that through. The cause of consummate color is giving light, such as butter lamps and new clothing. Further, it is said that by relying on kindness and giving jewelry, you will have a good physical form. The result of being without jealousy, it is said to be good fortune. So I apologize. That jewelry connects to the Stasha's offering, so I apologize for not reading that stanza because Rinpoche also read the both of them, so I left that out. The cause of consummate lineage is first overcoming pride and then making obeisance and so forth to the gurus and the like, and respecting others as if you were their servant. So by respecting others and serving them, then you will have people carry out your instructions without disregard. So the effect of that, well, that people will carry out your instructions no matter what you say. So the way that comes about is by not being prideful and being humble, making prostrations, making prostrations and serving others.
That name Jujiba Deredo, Segula Suba, Huala, Tata Jimba dance, and then Alcala me, Tolu mes, Hangen Kala Jimba Tan, Tolu Jimba Tanwaina, Jimba dance, Muluya, Pendu dance, Could the goods home do now, the Suljanal Pendu waters, Ruja waters help. That doing him and Seja Sabri being the Janira Sujan. Doing him you then maybe she usually Mabala, Jimbo was a Sakala, Paul Marve, Sakala, Jupiter, and Jimatan waters. Doing Jimatan wood, Sabri, doing him doing a Sejan, doing a Sejan Jimbatan, you then she usually Mabala, Sakala, and usually Mabatan Yungro. To Suljiba Tangina, Nama Jujiba Tres, Nama Jujiba Latin and Driven the Yungus Jimbe, Sejana Dute, Pimbership Osa, Saint Jimbe, Jen Jibatama is not a Dute, Sejan Jumbe Wonders, Pimbership, Namin de Vijiba Teredua.
So number 4, the causes of fruition. The cause of consummate power is giving food, clothing, and so forth to those who request them, even when they are not requested. So somebody who is poor, who needs something, such as food, even if they don't ask for it, you should give it. So that is what it means by those that requested or not requested. So if they ask for food, you should give it to them. But if you also know they need food, and even if they don't ask, you should give that to them. Giving such assistance and giving to those who suffer and to recipients who have good qualities but no possessions. So for instance, the scholars who have all these excellent qualities but are poor or don't have possessions, then this is what it's referring to here. So this is number 4, and it's connected to consummate power. Is that through giving you gather living beings and then mature them. So the cause of that is this.
That Name Jungaba Deredo, Name Jungaba, Nagi Magawa, Ponala, Komba Wosa. That Jun Tama Titu, Nachi de Ponla, Kombachi in the Namiju, and then Nabateres. He endeavored the Karim was a name of Nabateres, Camber of Hawatan, Ten Shubatan, Ten Tumbi, Sejan Duji Mibashibos. Heba Mawasana, and the kitchen Hebushet mother.
Less so.
Denshuba, and Denshuba, and Denshuba, Dentuba, Susuenda Loba Najin, Susu Yalan Jigina, Dentuba Marbe, Denshuba, Dentumbas, Jenda Loba Najin, Susu Yalan J, Dentumbe, Senjen and Dujin, Mibashibo, Senjen Jupin was, Senjen to Pangres, Namij Devungabateres.
So the cause of trustworthy words is habituation to giving up the four vocal non-virtues. So if one abandons lying, one abandons divisive speech, one abandons harsh words, one abandons gossip, then you will have trustworthy words. And those are that through kind speech, purposeful behavior, and being one whose aims are the same as the disciples, you gather living beings and mature them. So you do so by creating the cause, which is abstaining from the four non-virtues of the speech.
Rala Yuden Hatsuba Druba Melan Dejins, Jawa Shaman Susul Yuden Hatsuba Yunage, Melan de Wares, Melan Dejin, Gonju Sumla Cheba Dance, Pama Dan, Nyaradan, Kenluda Lamala Cheba Sheba Wosa, Shamala Ragi, Rala Yuden Hatsuju, Melan de Gonju Sum Chebambu, Lama da Pama Dan, Kenluda Chebabu Yina. Naming Jutuba Dres, Naming Jutuba J, Naming Jutuba Dan, Talatene, Debutuba de, Shawatanji Jushi de, Pentabe, Shebazushi Nudo, Goa Niabosa. Shawatanji Jushi de, Pentabe, and Shebazushi Nudo, Goa Niabosa, Tandebu, what thing was Shawatanji Jushi de. Pepen Taba in Rudan, and then say what the Sheba, Oko Nalkatin Chabashira Yinsan, Kalinegresita. And Sheba Zushin, Nudo, Goa Nebo was, and the Suzu Labate Negresita. Debating.
The cause of renown as a great power is making aspirational prayers to acquire various good qualities in the future lives, future lives. Making offerings to the three jewels, and making offerings to parents, Shravakas, which are hearers, Prachika Buddhas, which are solitary realizers, abbots, masters, and gurus. So as a result of this, one has great power because you have helped and assisted others in all activities that repay your kindness and listen immediately to your instructions. So this is as a result of making aspirational prayers to acquire these excellent qualities that the jewels have, as well as making offerings to the three jewels, and so forth.
Boydan wa misa de red marba ta dumba wa jibi yunda la ga shin se pei yunda la ga buje boy yunda la ga buje jibi yunda la ga wa pe me ji ngo bo la ma ga shin nye me su ta wa dan pe me ji ngo bo la ma ga nye me su ta wa dan pe me ji lun de ba do ba dan pe yo bo jo ba le ta je ba was te na me jo dumba tres Talatene what the political waters, pay over the Deba waters, what is a marbe, Dumba. When the Taji in her down, Dumba down, two Shawatanji in her dance, Shera Yamba, Shera Gaza, Shera Rod JB, not to Jolasa, Jen Koto, Majiba down. Sentient tantric, Lenji draw on Longsheba, Emba Nebala on Sudan River, Sudan Giji Mebosa, Give Mebosa. What I got the pay over the temple to what they pay things that in the
The cause of being a male is delight in the attributes of male, lack of delight in female things, and seeing their disadvantages, stopping the yearnings of those who want to be reborn in women's bodies, and rescuing those whose male organs will be cut off. The result is you'll have the capacity for all excellent qualities, a capacity for all skilled actions by way of aspiration and endeavor, a capacity for broad wisdom, the discrimination of objects of knowledge, and you'll be unafraid in assemblies and will have no reversals or obstacles, whether accompanying all living beings, speaking to them, enjoying resources with them, or dwelling in isolation.
Sheba dan randa dombe neba la tru sheba zawa dan tonwa jembo takante jengi mutubi gwatu rang droba jengi mutubi lega tu rang droba ane tashegen de robe jeba otan jeba ina wote to dan deba sa tu ngore jeba randa jenji don kala ya majusins truwa chwala tembe sutubi sutubi Number
8, the cause of strength is accomplishing what cannot at all be done by others, assisting in what can be done with your collaboration, and giving food and drink. And as a result, you will not be disillusioned about either your own or others' welfare, and steady in your great enthusiasm for them, you will attain the power of discernment and then quickly attain the super knowledges. So in the same way, when you look at the downsides of female, you will be born as a male. By looking at the downsides of being a male, then you can also then say you would be born as a female. So it would go the same way if you were thinking in a different terms as well. So today we went over the fruitions, the causes, and the effect. I'm sorry. We went over the attributes of the fruitions, or the fruitions, and then the effects of the fruition and the causes of the fruition. So we have these different categories where we have 8, 8, 8, 8. So we find this point being made about the male in this case in the sutra teachings, but in the tantric teachings we find all of the excellent qualities of the female that are represented, and we don't find this kind of idea presented. So the tantric tradition, we find the woman being elevated with her excellent qualities. So you destroy a root vow by disparaging a woman in Tantrayana. We're supposed to respect women and make prostrations to them and circumambulate them in the tantric teachings. We find these points being made. So we find this in some texts presented. Stasha, that you what you're in?
Okay, to what you're
in following what Rinpoche was saying.
Wait a sec, she's gonna.
Oh, sorry. With the non-virtues, we find if you kill yourself and you kill others, it's different. With what Rinpoche was just saying about disparaging women, is it the same if I disparage myself? Or is it necessarily disparaging other women? Then
kon jemen yen. then kon the rang the salodang the nga jemen the shira ducha yen sa don chaldwe the gangisina kon jemen yen then kon salodang nga jemen yen jemen shira ducha yen that salodana sa don chaldwe. Yes, it's a broken vow if you think that about yourself, if you disparage yourself. So having questions, a little question sometimes is good. So looks like concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer, unless others have questions.
Jeff,
Yes.
Ted, what about Easter Sunday, which is coming up quick?
27th Sunday,
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
Okay.
Long life White Tara initiation.
On Easter Sunday? That's not Easter.
27th is Sunday, right?
Yes, the 20th is Easter, the week before. Do we have class on Easter?
Easter Sunday is the week before the initiation.
Yes.
Oh,
So are we having class on Easter Sunday?
Do we usually?
No.
no,
We usually don't.
I hope we do.
Okay. All right. So the concluding mandala, the Yishu, the Duchen, Chenda Jipa Darik Nishu, and then Zanima, and Shishin and Gochagare. The Yishu, the Easter. Concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. So Rinpoche said we'll have a holiday on Easter. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offering. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drapa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well. For whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors to traverse the 3 times, I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Gyatso, may you stay until samsara ends. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts, with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Tuji Rinpoche Gutsi Shabi Denona.